Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the meeting. I'm Councillor Steve Pitt, Leader of the Council, but also Cabinet Member for Culture, Regeneration and Economic Development. A little bit of housekeeping before we get started. If the continuous fire alarm does sound, please evacuate the room and the public gallery by the stairwells and do not attempt to use the lifts. Please assemble at Queen Victoria's statue in Guildhall Square. In order to comply with the Guildhall Trust Fire Marshal regulations, anyone who signed in at Guildhall reception desk should sign out when leaving the building at the end of today's meeting. Everyone speaking via a microphone will be recorded and broadcast on the website, including anyone making a deputation. Members of the press and public are also permitted to record the meeting on the understanding it neither disrupts the meeting nor records those stating explicitly they do not wish to be recorded. Please can everyone use the microphones and remember to switch them off when you're finished. Okay, we'll carry on with the introductions now. Lisa.
Good morning, Lisa Gallagher from Democratic Services.
And the back row.
Good morning, Jackie Clark, Cemeteries Manager.
Mark Woolnough, Built Environment and Recreation Manager.
Matt Humphrey, Artist Studios Development Manager.
Good morning, Jasmine Richardson, Events and Operations Officer of Hot Wall Studios.
Dave Percival, Library and Archive Service Manager.
Claire Watkins, Culture and Leisure Business Manager.
Ross Fairweather, Manager of the DA Story.
Claire Looney, Commissioning and Partnership Manager.
David Howells, Digital Marketing Manager for Visit Portsmouth.
Jane Singh, Tourism and Marketing Manager.
Mark Collings, Seafront Operations Officer.
And last but by no means least,
Councillor Mary Vanley for Cusham and Wimmering.
Okay, good morning and welcome everyone. I believe we have apologies for absence today from Councillor Matthew Cordy. Members in declarations of interest, none from me, none from Mary. Okay, that's fine, in which case we'll move directly on to item 3, the water sports strategy post-consultation, and that is Mark.
Good morning all. The water sports strategy was created in 2015 to take advantage of opportunities for large sporting events around the time. It's a 10-year anniversary, so it's time for review, and we did a public consultation on this time to gather the views of the public on 5 main themes across that water sports. We had 333 responses and a good strong response from a number of organisations involved in water sports. The general public generally agreed with the 5 themes that were presented. The strongest agreement was with water safety, and the water sports strategy has allowed us to introduce certain things over the years. I'll just point out that sea swimming was one of the strongest responses, and we've got a good example of water safety on the seafront to accommodate this sport is the Boyd Zone along the seafront. The least engagement was, or the least agreement was on the destination marketing item, which reflects the very local response to the survey. So yeah, the general public generally agreed with the water sports strategy that was proposed, and we're now set for another 10 years to take advantage of sporting opportunities and things like that with our water sports strategy.
Thank you, Mark. Mary, any questions or comments?
I haven't got any questions, thank you, and good luck for the next 10 years.
Indeed. There's a recommendation to formally adopt the updated water sports strategy, and that recommendation is accepted for the benefit of the minutes, and thank you very much to Mark. Okay, we now move on to item 4, museum fees and charges 2026-2027, and Ross Fairbrother.
Thank you, Councillor Pitt. So this report outlines changes to museum fees and charges for next year. So the museum service continues to offer a number of free entry across some of its sites, with charging existing at Portsmouth Natural History Museum, Charles Dickens' birthplace and the D-Day Story. Portsmouth residents have free admission to Portsmouth Natural History Museum and Charles Dickens' birthplace, and that will continue to remain the same moving forward. The D-Day Story offers regular promotions throughout the year, including discounted entry to leisure card holders, and also includes a number of free events as part of its events programme, including access to its temporary exhibitions. It's proposed to increase entry fees to the D-Day Story by 4%, and entry fees at Charles Dickens Birthplace by 5%, and following a review of other attractions, these will remain competitively priced within the market. At the D-Day story, it's proposed to increase facilitated education visits by 2.8%, and that's to cover an increase in staff costs, but also we will propose to hold self-guided visits. There'll be no increase to those charges. There's a number of new charges that are affected in the report, and that's to reflect the fact that we've increased the number of events which are now on offer across the service, and also higher charges across all sites have been reviewed, and that also reflects an increase in staffing costs across the service. Finally, it's proposed that in future years, the charges will increase in line with CPI. Thank you.
Thank you, Ross. Mary, questions or comments?
No questions. Nobody ever wants to put prices up, but it has to happen. And I don't think they are out of line with, you know, other competitive museums. So fair enough.
Cool, thank you. And just to comment on that exact theme, we've done this ad hoc really over the years and made changes and stuff, and then things get out of sync and things need to then be caught up, which is much more noticeable. To have a policy that we increase the fees and charges by CPI each year is fair and equitable, and everybody knows where they stand. So there's two recommendations here in front of me today: one to approve the admission charges as referred to in this report and listed in Appendix 1, and secondly to approve that museum charges can increase annually by CPI in future years, and both of those recommendations are accepted. Thank you, members, and thank you, Ross. Okay, 5, we are towards a library strategy. We're now post-consultation, so for an update, over to Claire and David.
Thank you, Councillor Pitt. Yes, the Council's libraries form a really important part of the delivery of city vision towards positive health and wellbeing, lifelong learning, culture and creativity. And the purpose of this strategy is to consider how the library service can best meet the needs of the city's residents and communities. So this report's looking to seek approval to formally adopt the strategy, which we brought to you, as you say, in a pre-consultation in November to seek approval to consult. We're pleased to report we've had over 690 responses to the consultation, which was widely distributed, and respondents were able to give their views both online and in person. And we've made some changes to the strategy to take into account the feedback received. And this includes reflecting how respondents have prioritised the objectives, noting that, however, that there was a very high agreement with the objectives identified themselves, exploring further development in collaboration with youth services, making explicit reference to the strategy to acknowledge services for the disabled community, and we've redrafted the mission of the strategy, and it now has a sharper focus on books. Thank you.
Dave, did you want to add anything?
Just really heartened by that response rate. It was done over Christmas and New Year, so it was a quieter time, and I think it really shows that kind of agreement with those objectives that we've got. So I'm very pleased with the response and happy to implement it.
Okay, thanks. Mary?
Great response, and even greater is that you've really listened to people and what they want and what they need. So, you know, well done and good on you.
Thank you very much. Okay, no further comments from me. I concur with the remarks Mary just made. So the recommendation is to formally adopt the library strategy, and it is therefore formally adopted. Thank you very much indeed, and good luck with the implementation. We move on to item 6. That's the Hot Walls Extended Winter Market. Jasmine, I think you're presenting, aren't you?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. The purpose of this report is to seek the authority to annually host an extended winter market on the parade ground of Hot Walls Studios. This would be in addition to the existing weekend markets that we already run throughout the year. So as members may be aware, since the decommission of Point Battery and the City Council's acquisition of the site in the 1960s, artists have used the empty archways for informal exhibitions, which then evolved in the 1980s to include tabletop sales on the parade ground. And following the development of the Hot Walls in 2016, we were able to build upon these traditions through events like open studios and guest artist programmes, and we've hosted multiple annual large-scale art markets since 2023. These markets are consistently well attended. We often have repeat traders who return to us market after market, and we're really keen to support local traders and creatives by contributing to the city's cultural ecosystem. There's scope to expand the market to include other areas of the city, but it is worth noting that the initial aim of the development of these markets was to drive footfall to the Hot Walls Studios specifically. In November and December 2025, we hosted a trial extended market. The rationale behind this was to maximise small business and artisan seasonal shopping opportunities, which directly benefited local artists and makers, particularly those who don't otherwise have a physical retail space. This trial ran across 10 days of trading, Thursdays to Sundays, as opposed to the usual 2 days of weekend trading that our markets operate across. We welcomed a combined total of 50 traders, which varied across 3 weeks of trading in total. The feedback was supportive, highlighting the efficient organisation, great atmosphere and the high quality of traders. And as we'd hoped, traders were appreciative of the additional sales opportunities in what is traditionally a very busy retail period. So to conclude, we are hoping you will grant approval for the extended winter markets to become an annual occurrence in the hopes that we will be able to raise public awareness of the additional dates, and that will boost footfall and public engagement with the arts, and it will also allow us to keep providing those additional in-person trading opportunities to local retailers.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. Mary?
I'd be delighted to see more of this. The good thing about this market, one of the good things, is that actually you can get something for a £5 and a tenner and something for hundreds of pounds. So the variety is excellent, the quality is really good, and yes, please, I'd love to see a little bit up in the north once in a while, even though I know it's hot balls.
Yeah, I think what we're going to need to do, because the two delivery teams around markets are very different. So this is delivered by the team at Hot Walls, whereas our markets are led by Becky and the team in ETP. So I think what we'll probably need to do is come up with a small sum of money to underwrite a trial, and then get ETP to work with you guys so that we can find traders who we think might do well in that environment and give them a free pitch for a trial, so they're not actually taking a risk other than the time commitment, so we can trial it and see how it goes. So we'll have to have a conversation about that. But so if you could link in with Becky Alexander initially and then loop back to me, and I'll try and find a little bit of money to underwrite a trial so that nobody's actually taking a risk doing it. Would that be all right with you, Mary?
Thank you, Steve, that'd be brilliant.
Okay, let's make that happen. Okay, so the recommendation before us is that Hot Wall Studios continue hosting an extended winter market. This would maximise small business and artisan seasonal shopping opportunities, directly benefiting local artists and makers who trade at the Hot Walls Winter Creative Markets. The recommendation is approved. Thank you very much indeed. Moving on to item 7, it's the Visit Portsmouth Visitor Economy Update 2025-26. It's Jane and David, and I would remind you that I had to leave the meeting last week before David delivered any of his jokes, so if he wants to deliver any of those today, we're all ears.
You'd need the whole screen and presentation, unfortunately. I'm not going to put him on the spot like that. So this report provides an update on Visit Portsmouth's activity during 25-26 and includes updated membership prices for approval. It highlights the importance of digital marketing, including the refresh of the Visit Portsmouth website this year and the web and social media engagement figures. It covers the London Waterloo campaign with partners last summer, which saw great results, which have previously been reported. And the final element of the campaign, in the report it says it goes live. It's now currently live for 2 weeks from the 16th of March. Further digital paid marketing and e-newsletters have also taken place covering holiday periods and other theme times such as Valentine's, English Tourism Week, etc. We created again the destination publications, and this year as well the 100 Things to See and Do in Portsmouth, and all of these are in distribution. The press coverage that we've achieved is a mix of paid for and free. So we've seen articles in The Guardian, Independent, Daily Express, Surrey Life. And by providing copy, we also list other publications that Portsmouth has had features in at no cost. Group marketing continues with partners. We were at Portsmouth, had a Portsmouth stand at the Excursions Trade Show. We were featured at the Destinations Holiday and Travel Show in London as well. And we've just had a stand at the British Tourism and Travel Show. Ross and I were there, and we got back last night. It was very good. We continue to invest in the Meet Beyond London campaign, supporting city venues with activity towards the meetings, incentives, conferences and events market. International marketing continues targeting North America and Europe with ongoing campaigns, and we work closely with Brittany Ferries and the port, especially around supporting cruise visits to the city. All of this partnership working is really key. We work with local rail services, enabling us to better promote travel to the city by train. And our local partnership scheme enables us to work more coherently to sell the city, enables the breadth of activity that we do to take place. Approval is requested for the attached partner membership charges, including the ability to provide bespoke costings based on these when requested. We continue to be key members of the Regional Local Visitor Economy Partnership. The advisory board is now mostly set up and the first board meeting has taken place, and we recently had a roundtable event open to all tourism businesses in the county where the initial stages of creating the destination management plan were shared. We've been really pleased to receive some additional funding to support the LVAT from both of the regional growth boards. And we, of course, work across PCC with colleagues where relevant. Tourism has a social value for local residents too, and a recent report by Visit England is noted in the report.
Thanks, Jane. David, got anything to add?
No, thank you.
In that case, thank you both very much. Mary?
How many are you in your team again?
Well,
are you all here?
2.5 now, because following the recent review that's happened at the council, Charlotte Harding is moving over to the Visit Portsmouth team. She'll still be doing all the marketing for the D-Day story, but she'll also be able to support us, which is great news for us as a team.
Well, all I can say is brilliant. The publications that I've seen from you are stunning because they catch people's eye, and that's always going to bring people to read what you've got. And it's good quality too, colourful, lots of colour, really good. And obviously when I'm in London, I'm seeing our advertising all over the place, and I saw a piece in the Guardian as well, so yeah, brilliant. Well done.
I was actually in a post-meeting discussion the other week with other council leaders, and somebody sidled up to me and they said, "Can I ask you how in this environment you managed to support such a large tourism team?" I said, "Well, how large do you think it is?" And they said, "Well, it must be huge because you deliver loads of stuff." I said, "It's 2 and a bit people," and they literally, their mouth dropped open. So my hat's off to you guys for what you managed to do. It is absolutely amazing, and I get nothing but positive feedback from all of our partners as well for the work that you do with them and how much you are appreciated by them. It's going to be even more important as we move forward. There was an announcement that was made. There was amendments to the bill that's got all the stuff around devolution and mayoralties in it that was announced last night, and I was delighted to see that mayors are actually going to be given direct responsibility for culture, whereas previously that has not been the case. Some have opted to do something around culture, some haven't. It's now being embedded in responsibilities. So the opportunity to use the LVEP as a vehicle to really get that moving in Hampshire, and of course we are working on a Hampshire and Solent cultural strategy literally as we speak, will be well positioned, and tourism is going to be right at the heart of that. So thank you both very much for what you do, and I think we're going to have a busy time coming up over the next 2 or 3 years. The recommendation is that the Visit Portsmouth Partner membership prices are approved, along with the ability for the team to agree additional prices in line with those listed to accommodate bespoke requests, and that is officially approved. Thank you very much indeed, and we'll look forward to lots more activity during the rest of the year with Portsmouth 100 and hopefully a busy summer. Thank you. Okay, item 8 is the Revenue Funding Grants Report for 2026-27, and presenting is Claire Looney.
Councillor Pitt, thank you very much. This paper outlines the proposed revenue grant allocations for a range of cultural organisations who work and have activities primarily in Portsmouth. The paper reflects both on the fact that we understand the importance of this money for leveraging in other funding by these organisations, but also outlines the nature of the monitoring and evaluation work that we do with the organisations in terms of requiring business plans, audited accounts, and accountability for the monitoring of the money and how it is used. The report also continues to propose an uplift, as was proposed this time last year, for a temporary tier uplift adjustment for Aspects Visual Arts Trust, which is a reflection of the continuing delay of the decision by the Arts Council to support national portfolio organisation funding whilst they are going through a process of change themselves. This is going to enable Aspects to continue their work across the city in a range of aspects related to visual arts. The report also notes that revenue grants for Ports of Pride and Ports of Creates are from other sources and not from culture, leisure culture. I can't remember what the committee is. I'm really sorry. The CRED committee. They come from another portfolio, so apologies. That is referenced in this report, but obviously the money for those 2 organisations comes from other portfolios. I'm very happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Mary?
No, it's all good from me, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I am worried about the future around these things, with the pressures that local government reorganisation is going to bring on finances, and it is why we're trying to do everything we can to help at the moment to put people in a resilient position moving forward, because a new council may well have other priorities, yeah, it's worrying for me. But we've done a lot over the years to defend these grants in difficult climates with cuts coming. There's been no actual cut to the quantum of the support available since May 2018, when this administration came into office, and in the previous few years there'd been a slash and burn approach. So things have been very stable, and we're hoping that that stability has put people on a platform that if things change, they're better positioned to be able to deal with it. So the recommendations are approved, Claire, thank you.
Can I just echo what you just said? I mean, we're really worried, obviously, no matter what party. Yeah, fingers crossed. You're doing your best, though, so, you know.
That's appreciated. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Claire. We're now on item 9, Hot Walls Artist Studios Annual Update, and that's over to Matt.
Thank you, Councillor Pitt. Good morning, all. This is an information report on key highlights from the last year at Hot Wall Studios. We've already heard how through our regular and extended markets we've been able to widen the support that we offer to the city's artists and creative businesses. As well as supporting artists who are Hot Wall Studios tenants, we've been able to support the city's creative and cultural ecosystem through markets, open calls, workshops and other events and exhibitions. Aside from the buildings, site and facilities management, the team offers support to Hot Walls artists during their tenancy. This ranges dependent on need, from one-to-one coaching, grant application support, advice and feedback. In addition, we've hosted specialist workshops with the Design Trust, supporting with business planning and marketing strategies to establish sustainable practices. These were open to artists across the city as well as resident artists. Other events include seasonal markets, monthly open studios and guest artist slots in the Round Tower, exhibition hires including Pose Weekend. External exhibitions include a photography exhibition by a fallen Ukrainian soldier hosted at Central Library, and we also curate and manage open calls for the windbreaks. We were also involved in the shortlist selection of the Lions Trail, including the first Hero Lion, which was painted by Hot Walls artist Louise Braithwaite. On site, we have worked with the council's design team on a new branding and new signage on site and off site, funded by a successful community infrastructure levy grant. The decking outside of Studios 7 to 13 has now been completely replaced in time for spring. We continue to look for more opportunities to increase public awareness of the Hot Wall Studios and artists, and maintenance and viability of the Round Tower as an events and exhibition space remains a key focus. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. And I've been down on the decking, it's such an improvement on what it was before, isn't it? It was starting to look very tired indeed, and be a bit slippery too when it was wet, which was not great. Okay, Mary?
Just to say well done. I mean, it does look really good. It's really inviting down there. I just wish we had more of them. But yeah, thank you for what you've done.
Thank you very much, and thank you both for what you're doing. And I know it's whenever we see you here, it's always about the Hot Walls, but I know from the number of things that I'm at around the city that you're an intrinsic part of that cultural ecosystem, and that everyone values your involvement and interest in that, so thank you. Okay, report is noted. So we move on to item 10, which is the review of cemetery capacity and future provision, and there is an information report attached. We're over to Jackie and Mark, who's leading. Mark?
Thank you, Councillor Pitt. This information report is to provide an update regarding current capacity of the city's cemetery sites, to provide assurance that the burial requirements for the city can be met in the medium term, and to understand options for future provision. The City Council owns 3 cemeteries: Milton Cemetery, Kingston Cemetery and Highland Road Cemetery. A formal strategy regarding cemeteries and burial provision was formally adopted by Cabinet in autumn 2024. The strategy identified a need to better understand current capacity. A review of burial space regarding all 3 cemeteries was undertaken in December 2025, and on the basis of this review, remaining burial space has been calculated. At Highland Road Cemetery, the last available plot, has been used, so the cemetery is generally considered closed to new burials, although existing family plots are still used. In Milton and Kingston cemeteries, there is limited virgin land for burials. To provide further burial space, the service currently uses a system known as Reclaim. Graves reclaimed have been previously used in part, are unpurchased and have no headstones. We've been cautious in our assessment and considered future potential demand. In Kingston Cemetery, there could be approximately 72 years usage left, whereas in Milton Cemetery, there could be approximately 34 years usage left. This provides reassurance there are no concerns around current capacity or for the longer term. The needs of different faiths are also considered, and details are included in the report, with no concerns for at least the medium term. Importantly, going forward, the impact of local government reorganisation will form part of future considerations and how this might impact cemetery provision across a larger area. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Mary, comments, questions?
No, that was thorough. Thank you very much. I was just going to ask a question because I'm being nosy. There's a Jewish cemetery in Southsea. Who owns that? They do. Right. Thank you.
Sorry, I should have put my mic on. The community own it and maintain it. Okay. It will be important for the new council to have a strategic look at cemetery provision into the longer term. The years of availability that we've got left sound like a long time, but in reality they probably won't feel like that as it moves forward. And there will need to be some strategic planning. We know from our own investigations that finding any land in what is currently the unitary boundary of Portsmouth for a new cemetery is pretty much impossible. So there's going to have to be some strategic conversations down the road, but at least for the short to medium term, we are in a reasonably good position. So thank you both very much for bringing the update report. That's appreciated, and thanks Jackie and the team for what you do, much appreciated too. The report is noted, and I don't believe there's any other business today. So, have I missed anything? Because I did miss something a couple of meetings ago and got slapped for it afterwards. I got, you missed a report. No? All good. Thank you very much. Then meeting is now closed.